Hello everybody, and this is episode 29 of the Trophy Tour. We've just come off the first half of the season. It's literally Christmas Eve on the save now, and I'd like to tell you how we're getting on in the league as our Europa League campaign went to a shuddering halt. And well, let's just look at the fixtures first. The Europa League ones are an absolute disaster. Not only did we lose to Lyon and Austria Vienna again, we also lost at home to Zagłębie Lubin, who are basically the worst team in Poland. Not only are they near the bottom, they actually are pretty much bottom. So to have lost this game is an absolute insult, and it's probably one of the worst defeats I'm ever likely to suffer in this save. There's no way I should have lost this game, but they were inspired for probably the first time all this season, and that's just the way it is. There they are, bottom of the Ekstraklaska. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I'm sorry, my Polish viewers, but yeah, that's just a terrible way to end the Europa League. It put us bottom due to head-to-head results, and our coefficients will not be any better than they were at the start of the year. So 5 defeats out of 6 is a real problem for Bursaspor, and I played good players through the majority of the tournament, and it's a real shame that it went wrong. So at least the league isn't so bad. You can see a lot of green circles as well. We haven't drawn a game in a very long time actually, so it's either win or loss. So when we last spoke, it was Besiktas who needed to be beaten, and unfortunately we lost that game 3-1. We had a good start, I believe. No, we didn't. We conceded in the first minute, and we got an equaliser, and then they got 2 more for half time, so that ended that game. We did get 2 more wins against Eskişehirspor and Istanbul, so that was good news. But after that humiliation, we had to play Galatasaray, and we weren't fully prepared for it, so we lost by 2-3. We took the lead actually before half time, but they came out raring to go, and we never really stood a chance. At 2-2 we could have done it, but not really. We won the cup games 3-1 and 2-0, so that's good. So that puts us in the group stages, which I'll talk about in a minute. And then after that we got a massive victory over Kayserispor. We needed this one, and it was a very dull game, but Enes Ünal had the wherewithal to score a great goal in the 74th minute, which gave us a lot of hope. And then recently we've beaten Akhisar BLD and Kasim Pasa. So that puts us 6th in the league, but incredibly that's just 6 points less than Besiktas. But you can see Antalyaspor and Sivasspor have an amazing season so far, and Galatasaray, who have only lost once, have drawn 8 times. So it's a very competitive league at the minute, and it's one that will surely continue in the second half of the season. But we need to get back to winning ways against the big clubs if we're going to stand any chance of finishing better than 5th, which was our destiny last season. So halfway point, I'm pretty okay with this. We haven't scored as many goals as most other teams, but you can see Antalyaspor know how to get results just that little bit better than us, so hopefully we can climb the table in the second half of the year. But in terms of the cup, it's a Ziraat Turkish Cup. It's split into 2 groups of 4, and the top 2 teams qualify for the semi-finals. So it's basically a brand new Europa League for us, and it's one that I intend to do the very best that I can. But you can see a lot of fixtures. It's not only the semi-finals, it's 2-legged semi-finals, so this will probably be the hardest tournament to win. But if we can do it, all's to us. So while it is the winter season now, we have 3 games to play before the league returns, so I'll try and play our best players in this tournament and try and win my first piece of silverware in Turkey, because I don't want to leave voluntarily without something, which is why it's called the Trophy Tour. So if I can win the Turkish Cup, that'll be great. But it's a very tough group with Fenerbahce and Galatasaray to contend with. Anything else I need to mention? I suppose in the squad, Brian Wheeler, you would know him as probably one of my favourite players, but he's done terribly in the league. He's only scored twice, as he scored most of his goals in the Europa League. But he did score within 20 seconds in this game. It was a great goal. Just he shot from 30 yards or something. It just went flying into the corner. So pleased with him there. So hopefully with no more European commitments we can get Brian Wheeler back among the goals and playing again. But Tala has picked up a minor injury. It's nothing too serious. Erkan Zengen, he got sent off in my Europa League match against Austria Vienna, as we had 2 players sent off, and he got sent off for dissent, so I decided to give him a fine, and he said, screw you, I don't believe it's a fair fine. And I said it is a fair fine because he shouldn't be getting sent off for a dissent, whereas Sergio Casimel was sent off for professional foul, so I felt a little bit sympathetic. It was a little harsh, but maybe my inconsistency pissed off Erkan to the point of no return, so he's a little upset. In terms of average rating, we'll need to talk about that now. The best player has been Lucas Hedge. He's played a high amount of games, and even though he's been inconsistent at times, he's done very well otherwise, so good for Lucas. Taiwo with a 7.18, Brian Wheeler 7.13, Sergio Aziz 7.12, but Tala, he's getting amongst the goals again, so I'm very pleased for him. Taner Anil, Ozbarakli, Merich, Kalik, Kara, Bekdemir, all within the 7.0 or better rating. Brian Wheeler, our top scorer, but mostly in continental games with 11 goals. Unal is our league scorer, he's got 9, Patala 7, Gus Saver with a very formidable 6 goals, Anil has 5, Alti Paramak has 4, as well as Bekdemir and Merich. Hedja, Giovanni have 3, Matrian, Aziz, Kesmal, Belushi and Zengen have all scored twice or once this season, so that's okay. That'll pretty much conclude this episode today, guys. It's just another short one like the Le Mans Odyssey, as I want to get back to playing the games rather than live commenting them. So if you've any suggestions on what to look forward to next, we'll probably come back in February, see how we're doing in our cup, and try and beat Antalyaspor in this massive home tie on the conclusion of the month of January. So hopes are high. We're not out of it yet. We look dead and buried after some terrible defeats, but we have to win our big games. We can't lose to the title chasers again if possible. We did have a great run against them early last season, but that faded, so improvements are necessary, but I have faith that my team can improve. We don't have any transfers incoming apart from this one, which was done way before I was even in charge, so that's all I have to say, guys. Have a nice day, and I'll speak to you again soon.